Hi everyone. On this video we are looking at rationals and finding information about them. We're not graphing these. So here's our first one. We have a horizontal. It's saying we're trying to find A and B. And it tells us that we have a horizontal asymptote at 3. I should have spaced there. So we know if the horizontal asymptote, if our degrees are the same, then we just divide the lead coefficients. So we're going to divide A over 2 equals 3. And when you cross multiply, or you can just do this one in your head, you get A equals 6, because 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that is 6. And then for this one, we have a y-intercept at -8. We know that the y-intercept is when x is 0. So what I do is I just cross out these x's here, and I take this part, and that's going to be -16 over b is supposed to equal -8. You cross multiply and you get -16 over -8 equals b. So b is 2. And that gives you the A and B. So B is 2. All right, the next one, we have to find all the asymptotes and intercepts of this function. So basically, the asymptotes here, since the degree of the numerator is smaller than the degree in the denominator, our horizontal asymptote is automatically y equals 0. Now let's talk about our vertical asymptotes. What we're going to have to do is factor this. And so I already took the liberty of putting this in my calculator and noticing that it crosses the x-axis at -3. So -3 is one of my vertical asymptotes. Now I'm going to go ahead and use synthetic division here. And I know it should work out here. And I bring down my 3. And I'm going to multiply and add. Multiply and add. Multiply and add. All right, so we did get our remainder is 0. That means it's factorable. We're going to get, I'm going to go ahead and write this as 3x squared minus 11x plus 10. And that equals our y. But we want to find where it's 0, where y is 0. So we're going to factor this as 3x and x minus, so it's going to be 5 and 2. So if we have x is 5/3, that would present a problem because you can't divide by 0. Remember, vertical asymptotes is because you can't divide by 0. And then our for this one here, that would be x equals 2. So in this case, we have 3 vertical asymptotes and our horizontal asymptote here. Now we have to find the intercepts. Okay, the y-intercept is when x is 0. So all I'm going to do is divide -10, or -10 divided by 30, and that's -1/3. And for my, when y is 0, I'm just going to look at my numerator here and set this to 0. So we have 4x minus 10 equals 0. So 10 over 4 equals x, which is 5/2. So these are your intercepts, your x and y intercepts, and these are your asymptotes. Okay, the next one, we have to find the domain and range. So the domain's pretty easy. The domain is everything. We want it to be everything. But the only thing it can't be is 2 and -2. Now what I can do is factor the denominator because it's the difference of the squares. So x can't be plus or minus 2. In fact, that's where our vertical asymptotes would be. But it's just asking for the domain. So it's everything but plus or minus 2 because you can't divide by 0. All right? Now the range in this case has to do with the horizontal asymptote. So first of all, our horizontal asymptote equals, since our degrees are the same, it's just 2 over 1. So that's y equals 2. So since we have a horizontal asymptote there, that means the range is everything, but the only thing is that it can't be 2. Okay? In this case. Now sometimes it can, but in this case it won't. So the next one, the same thing. So the asymptotes, I know my, in this case, the degree in the numerator is bigger than the degree in the denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and use synthetic division and find my oblique asymptote. It's positive 5. You get 3, 10, and negative 8. You bring down the 3, 15, and then add, so that's going to be 25. So let me see if this is right. So we have 5. You multiply 15, 10. Did I write it down? All right, so this one's going to be a big asymptote. This is 3x plus 25 equals y is your oblique asymptote. Okay. Now your vertical asymptote has to do with the denominator. So that's just going to be x equals 5. This is your oblique asymptote. Your vertical asymptote is x equals 5. Because remember, the domain, it can't be 5. So that's where your vertical asymptote is. The intercepts are, the y-intercept is when x is 0. So you just divide those two and you get 8 over 5. And for the y-intercepts, where x is 0, or where y is 0, I'm looking for the x-intercepts, we're going to have to factor the numerator. And let's see what this would be. 3x, x, and we got 4. So plus 4 minus 2. So I have two x-intercepts, which would be, one would be 2/3 for this one, and negative 4 comma 0 for this one. So there's your intercepts, and you have two asymptotes, a vertical and an oblique. We don't have a horizontal. Okay, thank you and have a nice day. That's all the problems. Bye-bye.